Gigo. Today, we're going to talk about that.
We made 1 million in our second year in practice. We're trying to help as many chiropractors and future chiropractors do the same to help as many people as possible. I don't run any ads, so if you enjoy the content, please subscribe and share it with your colleagues and future colleagues to get on the path to victory.
You have to understand how things are up here.
And I'm actually passing the torch today to Emily, and she'll lead us to the Gigo.
Gigo, garbage in, garbage out. We actually want to change this to greatness in, greatness out. So I'm going to start with scripture for this. Whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good repute, if there is any excellence and it is anything, if anything is worthy of praise, let your mind dwell on these things. This comes from Philippians 4, verse 8. And so that just reminds you to keep your mind pure. Keep your mind engaged on things that are only going to be good for you. And so I really encourage people, and something that we've implemented in our household is not listening to music that is trash and that every other word is a curse word, or reality, trash TV, those like guilty pleasures. We've kind of cut that out because it's not serving us in any form or fashion. It's not getting us closer to our goal. We are so fixated and set on our vision and our values that these things don't serve us right now. And so if we put garbage into ourselves, into our mind, into our brain, what's going to come out is garbage as well. The way we talk to each other, the way we interact with patients, the way we carry ourselves in life. If we're constantly exposing ourselves to negativity and trash and just inappropriate things, what do we think is going to be the output, right? So I also want to mention that a huge shift that we had was having Luca. We're really cognizant of what we hear in our house and the music that we play, even in the car, right? Like it may be kids' music, or we're trying to teach him Spanish, so Spanish music, but we're really cognizant of not only what we're putting into our minds, but into his mind as well, because we know that kids are sponges. They absorb things really, really well. So the way that we talk to ourselves and the way that we behave and act in front of him is super important to us. And I know that our values have shifted quite a bit since we had him. Do you want to touch on anything about that as well?
No, yeah, it's interesting because when we were talking about that, I was laughing because I remember when I moved with my brother, when I was on the lowest, on my lowest ever, I was literally wasting my time listening to this podcast, Nonsense. It was a Puerto Rican thing. And like, I remember he used to get mad and he used to throw my phone and everything. Like, dude, you're wasting your time. Like, he's a business owner. He's always been an entrepreneur. And he's like, you're wasting your time. You need to do something better with your time. Like, he got pissed. And I'm like, oh, okay. I kept wasting my time until all of a sudden, like I said, I need to do something better because I was not acting how I was supposed to. I was not being the person that I was supposed to, but it's because I was getting garbage in. I was giving garbage out. And how you mentioned now with Luca, we're more conscious about that. How you mentioned the car. I even put podcasts sometimes about business on the car because, teach them young. There's nothing wrong with that. Like probably he cannot understand anything, but there's nothing wrong with playing a podcast that is business-wise on a good aspect in front of him.
Luca is 1 year old and he's probably been to more seminars about business and about chiropractic than most people have in their whole lives. And I remember one of our colleagues telling us, like, keep bringing your kids to these conferences. And, I'm like, oh, I don't know. He might be disruptive. He might cry. I have to step out. I'm kind of like in and out. And the guy told me, he was like, it doesn't matter. He's absorbing this, whether he's, 3 months old or 30 years old. He's going to remember these values that you instill in him today. So that's always in the back of my mind of, what do I want my son to hear? What do I want my son to see us? How are we treating each other, right? That's going to determine how he treats his future wife or how he treats his future kids. So I think about this all the time in my mind. And a research study shows when people are watching a horror film or like a suspense film or a thriller, it changes their physiological processes in their body. It makes you think that you are in a fight or flight situation when in reality, you're sitting on the couch and you're just watching a film. It's not real, but your mind is tricking yourself into thinking it's real. So it elevates your heart rate. It changes your brain chemistry. It elevates your cortisol. It elevates those stress levels in your body. Even though you're just sitting down watching a screen, your body thinks that it is in danger. And so if that's the case for watching a horror film, imagine like the types of like music that we're listening to, or radio that we're hearing, or people we're surrounding ourselves with. So you like to mention this a lot. We've lost a lot of friends in the past years, and maybe we're not good people. I don't know, but just kind of touch on that, like how kind of cutting people out of our lives in a positive way has been a crazy changing experience for us.
Yeah, we lost a lot of friends in the past 2 years and probably more in the past 6 months as opportunities come of opening new offices. I remember I was saying it on a group of friends that we had, and like they look at me like, and they just changed the subject. I'm like, this is BS. I'm not gonna like waste my time here anymore with these people that are not pushing me forward. So I'm out basically of this group, and I don't care. But it's with the people that you surround yourself, that's how you're gonna act. And that's what I tell whenever we have staff that are young. I teach them that, hey, as you start progressing in life, you're gonna lose a lot of friends. So just be ready for that. You know, some of them are not ready for that, but you know, a lot of them have been ready for that. So I highly encourage you, if you're a chiropractic student right now, you have a lot of friends probably from your undergrad, but I just want to let you know, these people are not going to be your friends. A lot of them are not going to be your friends as you graduate and open your business or go work on a business. I remember now with this opportunity that we had in Lubbock, we lost a lot of friends, but we gained a lot of entrepreneur friends as well, because like we've been getting ideas from those people, and those are the people that we want to surround ourselves. I'm not about, and I was talking about this with a patient actually yesterday. I'm like, I hate wasting my time. Like, you invite me to your house and like it's just to like be there, just like talking things that I don't care. I'm just gonna let you know and I'm gonna leave. But if we're talking about things, ideas that are like gonna make us better or it's gonna help our family, I'm all in and I'm gonna be pretty passionate about it. But if I'm not passionate about it, I'm gonna let you know. I prefer staying on the couch of my house. If that's what I'm gonna do at your house, I prefer doing it in my house, because if I'm saying yes to something, I'm saying no to something. So it's family time that I could spend with you guys, or just be on the couch doing nothing, mindless. So if I'm gonna waste my time, I prefer doing it by myself.
Yes, and we were with a friend this past Sunday, and the conversation was just so deep, and we just felt like it was just like so like it filled our souls. And she kept saying, gosh, it's like I'm talking to my husband right now, talking to you, because you kept mentioning like, oh, that could be a write-off. When you do taxes, like, do you structure it like this? Like, we're having conversations with our friend like this because we're that deeply invested in it. And it's not like, oh man, it's so hot, like the weather's crazy. Like, we're not about those surface level conversations. We're not about idle chatter or gossip. Anytime we're around people like that, it's like, I don't think these are our people, and we need to reevaluate who we want to put ourselves with.
So what would you recommend to a chiropractor that is not doing great in business, or a student? What would you recommend to them to change those habits?
Yeah, reevaluate what you're putting into your mind, right? Garbage in, garbage out. If you're surrounding yourself with people who constantly say, I can't, or I don't know how I'm going to make that happen, or I won't, people who aren't willing to work for it, people who just have this like negative mindset, remember that words, this sounds like a little woo-woo, but words carry frequency. So if I'm constantly speaking negative things, you start to kind of like vibrate at that frequency. We're not on that level anymore. We've really like ascended and elevated to a point where we talk only positive things, right? And if not, then it's something we got to work out. But when we speak positivity into our lives, everything elevates as a whole, and it gets us closer to our vision. That's why we don't surround ourselves with negative people or with negative music, negative, shows, whatever it is. So I would just encourage you to really reevaluate, what kind of books are you reading? What kinds of websites are you going on? Are you scrolling through social media and it's not bringing you fulfillment and peace? You should probably stop those habits. And in our experience, that has really helped us. Cut out the garbage, put greatness in, and you'll get greatness out.
Yeah. Every decision we make, we base it on our goals. I always have my end goal, and I don't need to write it on the paper or anything, because I already have it on my mind every time I'm thinking about it. So if something is gonna be on the way, or it's actually like gonna make the way longer, or it's taking me out of the route to get to my goal, I just say no. A lot of people might get offended and all that, but I don't care what people think. So I just say no, because I want to achieve my goal. So if you have any question, reach out to us. You can DM us or just send us a text message.